Hey guys, it is Mike with the Come Tonight. Welcome back to another Song Suggestion Friday. It has been so long since I've uploaded. It was really good to get that break at the end of the year. To be honest, it was all starting to wear me down and I feel recharged and ready to rock and roll. I have a lot of big plans for this year, so you're gonna be seeing a lot of cool stuff from me, some of it a lot sooner than others. Either way, welcome back, everybody. This is the show where you guys put your suggestions in the comments below. I pull from those suggestions, I put them in a poll on Patreon. If you would like to take part in that poll, you can go to the link in the description, pledge $5 or more a month, and you can have access. The patrons vote on them, I take the top ones, I listen to them, I give you my feedback, my opinions, not facts. I grade them on a plus, equal sign, minus sign. Plus sign means I would actively seek that song out again. Minus sign means I would actively avoid that song. Let's get started. Showdown by ELECTRIGLIGHT Orchestra. Pretty interesting intro in the first couple seconds there. Then it goes into this fusion of like funk, disco, and rock. I'm not a huge fan of the vocals, honestly, but they're not bad. The chorus is solid, but it doesn't have that initial hook to me. I mean, after I'd listened to it like 2 or 3 times, I found myself thinking about it outside of the context of the song. But like, honestly, that initial hook did not grab me. The production's good, the recording is actually great for the time. Really not a fan of that bass tone, man. The way that they arranged this made this simple composition come to life. Good performances all around. The guitar solo was okay, I just don't think it was my style, to be honest. I can see how some people would enjoy this song, just didn't really touch me that much. Total grade for this song, equal sign. Mr. Brightside by The Killers. Always with The Killers in this guitar tone, always. The vocals are irritating, and it's not because they're bad. The vocals are irritating because every fucking indie pop band tries to sound like this all the time, ever since this album made it big. The Killers always remind me of just like a less interesting Muse, to be honest. The production is great, very huge. The overall tone is a little fuzzier than what I'd normally like. The bass tone is also a little mid-heavy. The drums are super squashed, helps with that fuzzy feel a little bit. The guitar tone is beautiful. I'll definitely say that. It's a kind of simple tune. Actually, it's a very simple tune, and it's almost so simple it's dumb. I feel like they're relying so much on effects that the performance itself kind of loses meaning. And like, I could see taking the way that they arranged this and playing it as an acoustic piece of like just a guy playing acoustic guitar and singing, and it being very touching. But I feel like a lot of the humanity was lost just because there's way too much tech in the way of the people playing the song. All that aside, overall the sound is pleasing. Total grade for this song, equal sign. Mama Said Knock You Out by LL Cool J. Cool beat, the production is pretty crap, but I mean that's to be expected from this genre at this time. The flow is pretty dang cool, it's very intense, especially for the time period. I believe that he's gonna knock him out, or her out, let's not be discriminatory. The beat is crazy repetitive, but it does mix it up enough to not bother me that much. Really not a whole lot more to say on this one. It was intense, it was gangsta, and I felt where he was coming from. He sold me with the flow. Total grade for this song, plus sign. Reaviewmirror by Pearl Jam. The intro / verse riff is lame, and the verse vocals are also pretty lame, gotta say. Now the chorus actually feels really cool. Almost feels a little alternative. Coming out of the chorus also feels good, but then it goes back into that over-repetitive verse riff. And it's not over-repetitive in the sense of like it does the same thing over and over. It's literally the same little like either one measure or half a measure snippet that just repeats over and over, and it grinds on me. It's too simplistic. It's such a tiny musical idea that they could have added so much more to, and I'm just like, I'm bored. I'm bored to the point of irritation. The second chorus starts adding a lead guitar to go over top of it, which I thought was a great touch. The production is okay. Everything feels like it's in a super squashed room, except for the vocals, which has like this super roomy verb that's like very open. The snare sounds like it's played on rice paper, which is not a compliment, and the kick feels a little buried. Honestly, just the whole drum mix kind of sounds like crap. Now the rest of it's okay, but I mean, to be honest, I feel like I could have mixed and mastered this better, and I do not consider myself an expert at these things. If they had changed the verse riff, I probably would have given this a plus sign, but total grade for this song, equal sign. Viking Death March by Billy Talent. Great production. The bass and guitar sound fantastic together. I should not like the vocals, but I really like them quite a bit in this song and in this style. Another band I would relate that to is My Chemical Romance. I feel the same way about them. And you got these cool little vocal harmony touches throughout the song. Very cool. Simple riffs with a cool rhythm. I think that's kind of what sells me on it more with the simplicity, is it kind of mixes it up a little bit. The melody throughout the song is great. The vocals on this song really is what sells it to me. It's what elevates it. The instrumentation itself is okay, and with lame vocals over top of it, it would have just made the song mediocre no matter how nice sounding it is. But yeah, the vocal performance, well done. This song is not very complicated, but I definitely can feel the emotion. The mix across the board feels awesome, we'll say that. You got the deep thud of the kick in the bass, you got the beefiness of the guitar, you got a slight effect on the vocals. Very cool. Total grade for this song, equal sign. Out of the Dark by Falco. What the fuck is this? Apparently, he's an Austrian pop star. Not feeling the verse. The vocals sound really weird, and at least in the first verse, the beat is kind of lame. Now, as the verses go on throughout the song, they start adding more stuff, which makes it cooler. But yeah, I don't know, it just reeked of cheese for me. Now, maybe it wouldn't have as much if I spoke the language or if I was raised in the language and the culture that came with. The chorus feels really cool though. The recording and the mixing is good, but I don't know, the way that they mixed it, it just kind of felt like each part was its own individual thing, and they didn't blend it together really well. Everything stuck out a little bit too much. It didn't feel mixed. It felt like each part was its own individual piece, and they weren't really working together. Now, the vocals in the chorus are quite surprising. I was expecting something a lot more lame, and the guy turns out to actually have a pretty cool voice. Kind of Austrian Richard Marx. It was also an interesting choice to do the distorted guitar in the chorus. I was not expecting that at all, but felt good. I would also be very interested to hear my European fans' opinions of this guy, or this song for that matter. Total grade for this song, equal sign. Rockstar by Post Malone. I actually like his voice, but this style of song is not my thing. Between the overly straight ahead rhythm of the vocals, da 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 da, and then the trap influenced beat, everything is just too trap influenced for me. And it's not like full on trap, it's not, but it like gets really close to it, and it just irritates me. I'm so over it. The beat itself is actually pretty freaking cool, with the exception of the hi-hat. Now, they did change up the hi-hat from what you would normally hear in a trap album, which is like the same fucking sample played a billion times in like 1 second. What they actually did was they used a couple of different samples and they actually panned them in different places in the speakers, so it was cooler, but still had that trap feel. If they could pull that back a little bit, I would have liked this song, well, probably a little more at least. Now, in conjunction with that, I couldn't understand all of the lyrics, but the ones that I could hear, I don't think I really would have liked them, which would have brought the enjoyment level down. When 21 Savage comes in, I really didn't like his flow at all, tonally or rhythmically. The ending was actually pretty cool. Overall, the production was actually great. I know Post Malone is a talented songwriter, musician, but this is definitely not one of my favorites of his. Total grade for this song, equal sign. Green Machine by Kyuss. The intro with the guitar kind of doing that weird little like weird thing in the right speaker, great touch. I love this guitar tone. This is not a guitar tone that I would ever choose. I wouldn't even try to think of it, but damn does it sound cool. It is like such a perfect mix of fuzz and rectifier, like that classic rectifier tone. I would compare it to like a T-bone steak, but like a T-bone steak bought at like a lower end steakhouse, like not like a nice steakhouse, where, I mean, yeah, it's a steak and it's beefy and it's full, but there's like a rawness to it where like you still got to gnaw on the bone after you're done getting all the meat off the edges. The vocals are okay in this, and I don't think they're supposed to be a feature part, but I mean, they are mixed a little bit more forward, so I mean, it did take away from it a little bit for me. This song overall is very simple, but I think just the tone and the chug really got me going, man. The drums, from what I could hear, are a little too scooped in the mix, but they're not bad. They have super sizzly cymbals. Holy cow. The bass is present, but unless you know what you're listening for, you most likely won't pick it up. And that's, I think, done on purpose because they want it to be a wall of sound. They don't want a whole lot of separation between the bass and the guitar. They want it to be thick. The part at 220 was unexpected, but a really cool touch. It's kind of like a fusion of just good old rock and roll and metal. Overall, a cool sound. Both the verse and the chorus are highly engaging for me. While simple, you could tell that everything was played with passion. Total grade for this song, +. New Kid in Town by the Eagles. First 5 seconds I could tell this song is just too laid back for me. Already could tell. It is very pleasant though. The vocals are very sweet, or dolce. All parts were written very well for the style. Each part is unique in the song. There's good syncopation between all of them. So like you're not just having one part that's kind of mimicking the other, or kind of a derivative of the other. They're all doing their own thing. The drums are stupidly simple, but I think for this particular song they should be. The guitar tone is creamy good. Love the vocal harmonies. The Eagles do great vocals. The production is excellent. The mixing and recording is crystal clear. The arrangement and the composition are very interesting. Just way too chilled out for me. I will say this, at least it wasn't boring. Total grade for this song, =. Black Velvet by ALANNAHMYLES. Very simple song, yet still quite emotional. Seems to be the theme today, is very simple songs with a decent amount of blues influence. This is that weird period in the early 90s where music didn't know what the fuck it was. The production is great, except for that farty fucking bass tone. That's another thing too, is bass tones with too much high mids in them. What is going on? I love the voice. I would totally tap that. Song's a little boring to me until it gets to that pre-chorus and chorus. The chord progressions through there, and then the melodies over top of it. So nice. Really nice. Atypical, in fact. The guitar tone, both, especially that acoustic guitar tone. Oh, so good. The guitar parts themselves are very tasteful, though I will say about the lead guitar tone, a little tinny. They kind of add in organ slowly but surely as the song progresses. Good choice. The drums are 80s gated as per usual, and they didn't like do it super gate, and they didn't do it super squash and separate it out like they did back in the actual mid 80s. It's kind of a carryover along with that shit ass lead guitar tone. It's a very roomy mix, and for the time I know that's appropriate, but if I had the opportunity to mix it now, I would make it a smaller room and pull it back in the mix a little more just to make it more intimate. Total grade for this song, =. My one suggestion for you this week is The Enemy Inside by Dream Theater. It's been a while since I suggested a Dream Theater song, and I wanted to do something to kick off the new year with a little bit of balls. And this is one of the ballsiest riffs I've heard them write in a while. It's got some cool melodies, it has a fucking killer guitar solo. The only thing I ever bitched about with this album with the production is the snare sound, which you don't pick it up as much on this track, but on some of the other tracks, that snare is just like a like it sounds fake as fuck. That is it for Song Suggestion Friday. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave your suggestions in the comments below. If you would like to take part in the poll on Patreon, please go to the link in the description, pledge $5 or more a month, and you can have access. If you don't want to do a rolling pledge, you can go to link in the description to my merch store. Go ahead and buy some cool merch, or if you'd like to leave a tip, I also accept PayPal and Bitcoin. Or you can just follow me on Facebook and Twitter at Become the Night. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next video. Rock on!